Hi guys, and how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jill and I enjoy doing little tutorials on makeups, tips, tricks, and more using primarily Mary Kay products. So today I thought I'd take you on a little come get ready with me. So the hair is up and undone and the face is washed and ready to go. So I figured I'd take you through a nice little tutorial to show you how I do my makeup in the morning. So we'll go step by step and I'll show you which products that I use. So the first thing I like to put on is my eye primer, and I put these on first just to give it a little bit of time for things to dry and be ready for the product. So just a little bit goes a long way. And I have my mirror here to the side, so you're going to see me looking back and forth because trying to do it in the camera on the phone hasn't exactly worked the best. So I'm going to be using this one. So you just want to rub this all over your eye. It's real soft and smooth. Doesn't really make much color difference or anything in your eye. And as I mentioned before, you could also use a concealer on your eye if you wanted to, but I really like the primer because it holds the product and keeps it from creasing and coming off throughout the day. So that's what I'm starting with there. And then of course the next one I'm going to start with is the face primer for your foundation and the rest of your makeup. And this just helps keep everything on all day long. And this has an SPF of 15 in it. And again, this is just very light. You can't even see it. And when it goes on, it is so light and feathery. I mean, I know I always describe it as featheries, but really, it really feels like feathers on your skin. And I'm going to show you a little bit other coverage today. Usually I've been doing the CC creams. Today I'm going to show you the actual foundation that I use. And I'm still preferring to put my foundation on with a brush. Today is going to be the Luminous 3D foundation, and this is in the Ivory C100. Now this is the one that I had initially ordered, which does okay, but you see it will be a little bit light on me, so I could technically go up another shade or two if I wanted to, but we're going to use this for demonstration today. And as you see, I just put a little bit on there. Leave the cap off because it might need to add a little bit more. And then we're just going to go ahead and put it all over. I want to cover up the red spots on my face today. That's a little bit of my rosacea and a little bit from too much sun, as I mentioned in some of my other videos. So it's kind of a combination. I just recently moved to Florida, which is like just about the 11th home that we've had. My husband and I move around a lot. He's always moving for his job. He's in management. So getting used to the Florida sun when you're super pale is it's quite interesting to say the least. So as you see, just from a nice, quick couple little dots, it actually is covering my redness very well. Like I said, just let me look in the mirror over here. And as you can see the difference in the coverage, it's really nice. The reason that I chose the Luminous one is because I tend to have dry skin. So this is really good for anyone that has dry skin over the matte. This is just going to help hydrate throughout the day and have decent coverage. Now I could build it a little bit more, but what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to put the cap back on for now because I'm going to do a little bit of the concealer under my eye. And of course, I use the very light concealer. Now, I've been doing my makeup for a long time, and I think two different ways. Like when I initially learned makeup, it was always the concealer went underneath the foundation. And I know that that's changed and things are, are always trending with beauty. But what I recommend is do what feels comfortable to you. If you like it under, go ahead and do that first. If you like it over, that's fine too. It's basically however it turns out on your face and however you enjoy it. I don't really think that there is a set beauty way to do it. I just think whatever you're comfortable with is what you should choose. Okay, so this is just like a little doe foot applicator. So of course, I'm sure you've seen this before. We're just gonna make little lines here and here, and I'm just gonna put a little bit down the front of my nose as well. Aren't these always just like the greatest pictures in the world? And then I do have a little redness here, so I'm just going to tap a little bit down the bottom. I love this concealer. It is really great coverage. And then I have a moistened beauty sponge. I chose a pink one because it's one of my favorite colors and it's happy and grand. And then you're just gonna tap this in all up under your eyes and wherever you happen to place it. You want to be really careful in the eye area. You don't want to pull or tug that area because it contributes to wrinkles, more sagging and swelling. So really just pat as much as you can around those red areas that you want to cover. And this just takes, you know, a minute or two to get it all organized in. Organized? I don't know if we're organizing under eye concealer, but you know what I mean, to get it all smoothed in. And you can really see a difference. Now, I didn't even put any on my cheeks, so that's showing you what the coverage of that foundation has already done. But if I want to cover that up a little bit more, I'll go ahead and do an example for you. You can also take the concealer and put it in the red areas of your face. And I like to just, you know, draw it on a little bit because it gives good coverage of the area. And then once again, take the beauty blender. As you see, I don't edit out a lot of silly things that I say because why? Like, that's part of life, right? I mean, that's what makes us human. That's what makes us us. And why would we want to edit that out, you know? So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and pat that in. Wow, guys, can you see the difference from just using the foundation and a little bit of concealer? It really covers the red in my face. So great coverage, and the coverage lasts throughout the day, which is also kind of challenging to do makeup while you're talking and looking in a mirror. So there we go with that. Okay, so now we're all primed and ready to go as far as that goes. So I'm going to use a little bit different blush today. Today is going to be Desert Rose. And I still have them in the little plastic things that they come in. And I told you guys I was going to be doing a demo soon, putting them all into the case, which I'm definitely going to do, and I'll show you those. Just haven't got around to getting the video part of that set up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm just taking the blush brush from Mary Kay, putting a little bit in there. And then you always want to tap it off. These are chroma fusion, which means they last. They're long lasting throughout the day. Oh, wait, before I put the blush on, I almost forgot. We got to do the translucent powder, which really helps hold everything together. So you just want to make sure you have a little bit in your lid. And then I get the big all over powder brush. You can probably see that coming up. And then this is just going to go ahead and go all over your face. And this is, you can use as much or as little as you want. I love this brush. It feels so awesome on your face. Like, seriously, I could just lean back and take a nice little nap with somebody doing this on my face all day. Okay, all right, wild hair there. So I'm gonna leave the lid off of that because sometimes, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, the blush can go on a little strong. So if I wanna tone it down a little bit, I can use the translucent powder to do that. So you're just gonna put it on the apple of your cheeks, and you see that it does come out, well, especially on a very pale person like me, it comes out pretty strongly here, but that's okay. That's part of the makeup tutorials, is to show you how to blend it in and make it definitely lighter because, you know, I don't want to walk around looking like Bozo the Clown. I don't think that that would be a good thing to do to the people on the streets. You know, it might scare them a little bit. But that's my problem being pale, is everything is so pigmented and comes out so quickly. So we can fix this. Not only we fix a little bit with the Beauty Blender, just to take some of that pigment out of there. So no worries. Like if you're just learning how to do your makeup and you're like, oh my gosh, my look is ruined, I gotta start all over, blah, 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 and, you know, change my foundation and all that stuff. No, you don't. You really don't. And the other thing that I like about the translucent powder, again, is just take a little bit, tap it off in the lid, And then the most reason that I'm closing my eyes is the powder does tend to like come up a little bit. But see how you can just gently go back over that using your blender and the powder? And then, you know, you don't look like Bozo or some other kind of clown because you didn't fill in your lines, which is important to blend it all in because you want a more natural look. You don't want something that looks like you tried to put that makeup on. I do a little bit dark there. And we do have different shades, so there's lots of different shades to choose. I'm just doing this look for today. So it was a little toned down. I think I just do a little bit more of the concealer here. And no big deal because you know what? It's not always perfect the first time, guys, and that's okay. That's how you learn. So don't be afraid to sit and play around with it. Okay, so it's pretty toned down for the moment. It's probably actually less color than the red that was in my face when I got started. So another little fun thing is I'm going to use the Honey Glow highlighter. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this to offset it. So I'm also going to take my big fluffy brush because I don't want a lot of this product, just a little bit to add in there, to add a little color. And you can also go around the forehead area just to help define the face. I have this one little wonky hair. Y'all see it? This is like flying around my face, like, nope. But very lightly, just to add a little bit of glow to your skin. So the next thing I'm gonna put on is I chose to do Moonstone as my base today. And I'm going to use my all over brush from Mary Kay and put it in there. And then bear with me because I need to look in this mirror for this one. So we are just going to put this in all over the lid. And by now that has given it time for the, oh, I have a little bit of color from my other eyeshadow. Let me take some of that out for a minute because I did have some blue in there earlier. It didn't all come out. Thought I wiped that out. So hang on. All right, so I got most of that out. So let's try this again. You might still see a little bit blue on it, but it is this color. This is what we're going for. So I'm going to try to go again and do the all over look. And I'm just doing a basic eye look today, nothing real fancy. Just a little get ready with me to go on, get out the door, get moving. And for some reason, it still wants to pull a little bit of blue out of the brush. Y'all see that? Well, that wasn't the plan for today, but that's okay. We'll work with it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is take my next brush, and I kind of have some funky eyebrows going on. Even though I'm not coloring those today, I do want to show you that we have a dual brush that does the eyeliner and your eyebrows. So if you want to just take that and brush them over and just tame them a little bit. I'm actually a person that has never really, I don't do waxing because I really don't like, my whole face gets red and itchy when I wax because, as you see, I'm sensitive. So see, even doing that like makes me a little bit red. So I've always pretty much kept like my natural eyebrows, but I will do some videos where I show you different tips and tricks you can do with that. So the next brush is going to be the Smudger Brush, and I'm going to take a new color, which is Frozen Iris, which is like a purple color. And then this is nice just to smudge it around. So I'm gonna go in the crease and corners of my eye over here. And hopefully you can see that with me looking in the mirror here. Because it is a pretty color and it's lighter, you know, than it looks in the container, depending on how buildable that you want it to be. I just want a nice neutral look today while I'm going out. You just want to make like a little V on the corner just to open up and add some color in the eye there. And again, there is so many different things that you can do with eyeshadow. It all depends on if you want a real dramatic look, if you're going out for a night on the town, or like me, then I'm just doing a quick get ready for the day to go out and run some errands and do a couple things. And I'm like, hey, I'll jump on and do a quick tutorial and show you all how this is done. Just trying to see the lighting part. Blending, blending, blending. I cannot stress enough how important it is to blend. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go back to the eyeliner brush, and you're just going to tap a little bit in here, and I'll show you how to go around the eye. See if you can see this with this one. You can also use darker colors. You can really change it up, play around with it, do whatever you want for enhancing the eye. You can even flip it up a little bit so you get like a little wing. And these stay put all day too, especially using the primer. That's really gonna help keep it on all day. And it's all about like building it, looking at it. Is that what you want? Do you want to go back and do more? I just did the littlest wing today. So then let's go on this side and go ahead and put it also underneath. You know, and sometimes, you know, eyeliner pencils can be a little intimidating when you're just starting out and learning how to do your makeup. So if you want to go this route with the eyeshadow, that's perfectly fine. It works just as well. Sorry guys, this is hard to see if I am getting it all on here. I think I just need like some big massive studio lights so I can see it better. Just being real. And then I see that I want to go back over this a little bit more. I'm just going to use my crease brush because this doesn't have the color in it. And the other one was bringing out some blue that I did not want in there. So normally I would use my all over brush for this, but I actually have it ordered because it is releasing with the summer products. So when that comes, that will be a lot easier to use because it's going to be fluffier and it's going to go all over. So this is nice. And then I'm going to go back to the moonstone and just add a little brightening in the corner of the eye. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to make it pop. And the lightest little bit on the top of my lashes here. You see, it helps open the eye up a little bit. And then the next thing we're gonna do is take the Last Intention Day mascara, which is one of my favorites. It's going to really open up your really open up the mascara. Yeah, that would be interesting. Really open up your lashes. So these are going to lengthen and extend, and you want to have like a side-to-side motion going up your lashes and then down. You can also turn it for the bottom if that's more comfortable for you. So I'm going to try to see this one. And this is a buildable mascara. So, I mean, you can see the difference even in one little application. But I'm actually going to do 2 pumps today. So just give you a little idea of what one layer is. And then I'm going to do a second layer today to show you. That you can really lengthen and take it out even further. You can also use a lash curler if you'd like to lengthen it a little bit more, but it's not necessary. So wow, look at the difference from like no lashes to big and booming lashes. So really good mascara. So here I'm gonna go to the other side. And that's the one coat, and then we'll go ahead and do a second coat on there. Okay. And then that's the difference with the lash intensity. Really makes us people with pale skin and pale lashes really goes out. Hopefully you can see the colors of the eyeshadow on there. So the lipstick I am going to use today, let me see what color I grabbed, is the Blush Velvet. I will list all these colors down below if you're interested. So go ahead and put this on. So soft and moisturizing. I love these lipsticks. Of course, you can add a lip liner as well, which I just chose to go without one today. So you see that all goes together well. And then I also picked up my Fancy Nancy sample of my lip glosses while I'm waiting for those to come in. And this is what I was telling you about with the lip glosses and the lipsticks. You can layer them and make different looks, and I just love to add like a little sparkle. And these colors match really well. And these colors are really great for like a natural look you can use throughout the day. So I hope you enjoyed this little get ready with me today and all the craziness that went along with it. And the crazy hair, which I think I may just go ahead and style and maybe come back and finish up this video. So give me just a few moments. Okay, here is the finished makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Got the hair done, ready to go out. Tell me what you think about the colors below, and also tell me what other kind of videos you would like to see and what you would like me to feature. And there we go. Nice natural look for the day. Thanks guys. See you soon.